Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of 4400 Season 1, Episode 11. If you were new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows as well as scripted shows. If you're returning, you one of my people, welcome back. So, the episode starts off with some anti 4400 group on their way to the hotel to cause trouble for the 4400. And one of the quiet dudes, I'm like, something off about him. He's not all riled up like the other ones, like, yes, we're going to do this to them, we're going to do that to them. This dude was sitting there quiet, like, I was like, what's going on? Turns out it was LaDonna in disguise. But my thing is, unless you had like some kind of anti-power device, y'all don't know what y'all up against because y'all don't know exactly what powers the 4400 has. They could have the power of the ability to make everybody just free. They could have the ability to y'all gonna make somebody turn into dust. You don't know what powers these people have, and y'all think y'all gonna show up in y'all little van, which I'm guessing it was like other groups that was gonna show up and cause all kind of trouble. But like y'all, I don't think y'all thought this all the way through. So Manny and Jarrell are talking, and Manny tells Jarrell he returned with everybody else, and he stayed. His ability was his powers was he was able to become invisible. I thought he was just like teleporting through time and space and all that other stuff, but no, he was just making himself invisible and not invisible. I was like, that since he was already hounded by the government, that was a nice power to have to make sure that you stayed hidden. Because he was already having these issues with the government before he disappeared, and he thinks that the 4400 should turn to the hotel since this anti 4400 group is out there and they ready to cause trouble. It's like we are stronger in numbers, and I was like, and as I was watching, I was like, he gonna turn evil. I thought that about Isaiah at first, but he kind of like changed on me, and then towards the end of the episode, I was like, yep, I was right. He's turning kind of evil. It sounded good, but like you want all these people together with their powers and it just cause all kind of heck. But okay. LaDonna is back. She showed back up at the hotel. Everything was fine with her dad. They was getting along. They was building model trains and doing all of the things. And while they're looking at the news, they see when Mildred jumped stupid and knocked dude off of the out the window, and then used his heavy vase and was about to crush his skull. So now the daddy's scared, thinking, oh my goodness, they all evil, they all out to get us. And I thought he was like going to turn her in, but no, he was like holding her captive. And I was like, I don't think I would, if something like this would happen and like my family returned. I would, if somebody else who returned as well was doing jumping stupid and doing something like that, I wouldn't be quick to like, oh, I got to get rid of you too if they wasn't showing any violent tendencies. But he was listening to the radio in anti 4400s, and he didn't got it in his mind that LaDonna is an imposter. She was like, she told a backstory that like an imposter would not know. Like, hey, we went to like the botanical gardens or whatever they went to. Mama made me wear this ugly dress. You put this ugly orange shirt on me. I was mad about it until like the butterflies surrounded me, and that's the first time you called me your little butterfly. And he was like, you got those memories from my daughter. You not my daughter. Went so far as to get his doggone friend he was in the army with, who's like a vet. It's like, okay, I guess he was gonna take her DNA to prove that she was like not LaDonna. I was like, okay, so what is it? What will you think aliens decided, okay, we gonna be like imposter as your people so we can do what to you? Because if that was the case, as soon as she got to your house, she would have done something to you. They wouldn't have got captured by the government just so they can go to your house. If that was the case, they would have went straight to your house, wherever they was before. But listening to the radio and nonsense will do that to you. I guess he thought they was coming back to put us in the arms of the angels. We find out that Jarrell goes to introduce Claudette to Manny, and she's like, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "What does this look?" Because you was from like the 40s and the 50s. So how you know Manny? Well, she didn't know Manny. She knew Jorge. She was, in on the bench in the park one day, and he came up talking about, "So I can help you with your powers and all this other stuff." And they was working together. He was going to help her teach her modern skills of resistance, of organization to hone her powers. And, we're going to get the other 4400 to hone their powers as well. He didn't let her know that he was a 4400 as well. He was keeping all that on the hush. But it's like now she kind of go with Jarrell, I think. So it's like, ooh, my eyebrow. I need this. My eyebrows done. But y'all not here about my eyebrows. But anyways, she was like, "Oh, so now you lying to your brother and you want me to lie to your brother as well." It's like, some things you real don't need to know. I guess because Jarrell's not a 4400, so he doesn't need access to this type of information. It's like, Claudette don't want to be lying to Jarrell because Jarrell been good to her, gave her a place to stay, which was Mandy's old place. It's like, she not feeling good about lying to him, and I understand why. Hayden decides to go back to the hotel because too many things is causing trouble for Logan, Mariah, and Logan's wife, whose name escapes me. First, he lost out on the job because the people, I guess it was like, "Oh, you housing a 4400, we anti 4400, so you can't be getting this job." And then somebody threw a brick through the window threatening them, and Hayden's like, "That's too much, heat over at y'all house that I really don't want to get y'all involved in. So I'm gonna go on back to the hotel where there's guards and securities and whatnot's going on. So yeah, this is what we gonna do." I am happy that I found that the IT lady is on our side because I was heated when I found I really need to know her name, but until I remember her name. If y'all know it, drop it in the comment section below. But IT lady, she's being a double agent. After I guess she was like interrogated for all those hours for something that she didn't do, she was like she want to know what's going on and why they are so invested in what Manny got going on or what Manny had going on and all these other things. So she's been working with Terrell, which I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna call you a heifer no more. Now, ex-girlfriend heifer, she would be ex-girlfriend heifer, but you gonna be IT lady until I can remember your name. Hopefully that'll be soon because there's only like 2 episodes left. And hopefully this gets renewed because our kind of people, they said that Fox wasn't renewing it. And I was like, Fox is good for like getting us a good show and just only giving us one season. Wasn't The Passage on Fox? And then they just like slowly drifted into like being stupid, and I was mad about that. So I'm gonna need some other network to pick up our kind of people. And hopefully that they do that before like all the main characters get offered roles somewhere else. Because I used to like, now we going on the side note right quick. I used to like that show Read Between the Lines with Tracy Ellis Ross and what is his name? Malcolm Jamal Warner. I think it was like she was on her for like 2 seasons, and then like the third season she had like went to California, and I guess they got a divorce because she got a real Blackish. So I was like, I don't want it to be where one of the main characters get a job somewhere else and we no longer have them, because I like all the main characters on our kind of people, and hopefully the 4400 gets renewed as well. That's just my roundabout way of going about that. But anyways, where we at? Yeah, she lets Jarrell know that the government is looking for Manny because he knows what makes the 4400 unique, the ZMT that they got in their blood, and that Manny is not telling you everything that he knows. So you might want to be looking into that. I know that's your brother and you love him and you just got this man back, but he's not being completely truthful with you. And I just thought you should know that. And I was like, okay, thank you, IT lady, for letting us know. And thank you for being on our side. Y'all, I was about to say Isaiah needs to be wearing gloves at this point because now that we know that you have the ability to take people's powers away, whether they're wanting you to do that or you accidentally do that, because accidentally took Manny's powers away because he didn't know that Manny was a 4400. And I was like, man, put some gloves on. That's all you guys can do. Put some gloves on. And I was like, well, can he give people powers back? He tried to give Mildred her powers back. That didn't exactly work. Well, it's like Ji-Hun's, she's getting married. You know, her and her dude was supposed to get married like 30 years ago, and he just waited out, hoping she was going to return, and she did. But she was like, I don't want to have these powers no more because I just started glowing for no reason. And I was like, that is a pretty messed up ability to just, you got the ability to doggone and heal yourself. You got the ability to heal others, even though it's gonna make you sick, and you got to touch something else to make that sick. You got the ability to like move things with your mind. You can take away powers. Noah, which where is Noah at? We need Noah back. Noah can like sing you into to doing what he wants you to do and all these other things. And my powers is my head is glowing. Now it'd be different if my head was glowing. It was letting me know, okay, these is the Powerball numbers. Okay, this is okay. Go to that store and get this scratch off and get some like something like that. I would enjoy, but like my head just glowing for no reason. So she was like, I want you to get rid of my powers, and I want, you know, you to be the officiate for me and my fiance's wedding. And Isaiah was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. We're gonna do that. They didn't got married and everything. Manny finding out that, you know, Isaiah is the one that was taking away people's powers, stabs doggone Isaiah, giving everybody ooh, voice just left. It was like, I'm not doing this no more. Excuse me. Giving everyone whose abilities or powers were taken away, giving them to back. First, Shanice, she was, you know, slow dancing with Noah. No, that's not his name. Logan. And they say no, her powers come back. I was like, oh snap! But then Mildred, like a cake was about to knock over, and she went to go reach for it, but like it stopped. It's like, oh snap! I got my powers back. Then Ji-Hun, her doggone, her head started glowing, and they like, oh snap, you glowing. And then Manny starts disappearing because he done stabbed Isaiah. And I was like, earlier in the episode when he was training Claudette and he stabbed her in the stomach and was like, pain is trained, and only a baby and a child only knows that they're in pain because the adults around him are reacting, so you got to forget the pain. And I was like, I don't know how true that is because babies come into the world crying, you know, you pierce their ears, they crying, they get their first shots, they crying. So I don't know if pain is trained, but now Manny got his abilities back, and Isaiah is laying on the floor after being stabbed. I was like, yeah, man. Now I was kind of figuring that you was going towards, you know, going left and being kind of, you know, evil. And you just proved me right. So that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you were new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, for $4.99. Make sure your notifications are on so my beautiful face puts up a video. You can click on it, you can like it, and share with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one. No, my lips are not ashy.